Requiring electrical work documentation in Article 110 can bring potential benefits. Requiring detailed plans, risers, and schedules eliminates the need for on-the-fly design modifications. This reduces the risk of errors and ensures the design meets applicable codes and standards. A standardized documentation requirement provides a clear and comprehensive basis for authorities having jurisdiction, known as AHJ, to review and evaluate a proposed electrical system. This ensures its safety and compliance. Clear documentation facilitates communication between designers, contractors, and AHJ. This minimizes misunderstandings and ensures that all parties have a shared understanding of the project's electrical requirements. Proper documentation helps track changes and modifications throughout the project. This ensures that all aspects of the electrical system are accounted for and meet safety standards. Formalized documentation eliminates the need for ad hoc drawings and sketches. This reduces rework and improves project timelines. When defining documentation requirements, there are several considerations. The level of detail required for plans, risers, and schedules should be proportionate to the complexity and scope of the electrical system. The requirement should allow for flexibility in documentation formats to accommodate different project types and technologies. Establishing a compliance mechanism is crucial to ensure that the documentation requirements are consistently followed. The documentation requirements should be tailored to ensure that they are not excessively burdensome for smaller projects. The criteria should strike a balance between ensuring safety and maintaining practical feasibility for contractors and designers. To implement a documentation requirement in Article 110, consider the following steps. Firstly, submit a proposal to the National Electrical Code Committee for inclusion in the upcoming National Electrical Code cycle. Secondly, engage with electrical industry stakeholders, including contractors, designers, ODs, and manufacturers, to gather input and address concerns. Thirdly, conduct pilot programs to test and refine the documentation requirements in real-world applications. Provide education and training resources to ensure widespread understanding and implementation of the new requirement. By carefully considering these factors, the addition of an item in Article 110 requiring electrical work documentation could significantly improve the safety, efficiency, and consistency of electrical installations. Detailed electrical plans, including riser diagrams and schedules, are crucial for minimizing errors that might arise during field modifications. When electrical work is fully documented, it helps reduce errors. Electrical documentation improves authority having jurisdiction reviews. Standardized documentation gives the authority having jurisdiction a clear, thorough way to assess proposed electrical systems. This makes sure everything meets safety and code standards. Good documentation makes communication better. Clear documents make it easier for designers, contractors, and authority having jurisdictions to communicate. This cuts down on misunderstandings and makes sure everyone knows what the project needs. With electrical documentation, safety is also improved. Proper records help keep track of changes during the project. This makes sure every part of the electrical system is safe and up to standard. Electrical documentation also improves efficiency. Having formal documents means fewer quick drawings and less redoing of work. This helps projects finish faster. How detailed the electrical plans, risers, and schedules need to be depends on how big and complicated the electrical system is. There should be room for different types of document. The rules should be flexible enough for different projects and new technologies. There needs to be a way to check that the rules are being followed. It is important to make sure everyone follows the documentation rules. The electrical documentation rule should not be too hard for small projects. The rules should be fair for both safety and what is practical for designers and contractors. The electrical criteria should find a good balance. One way to add documentation rules to Article 110 is to suggest it to the National Electrical Code Committee. Talk to people in the electrical industry, like contractors, designers, authority having jurisdictions, and manufacturers. See what they think and what problems they foresee. Try out the new electrical documentation rules in real situations to see if they work and how to improve them. Teach people about the new rules and why they are important. This will help everyone use them correctly. Adding documentation rules to Article 110 could make electrical installations much safer, more efficient, and more consistent. This could be done by thinking carefully about these factors.